I'm Scott.
I'm Kyle.
This is Crushing Trails
And Drinking Ales. We're here at 5.5 Brewery in El Segundo. I'm currently drinking the King Kolsch. What do you have over there?
I've got a wit, which is aptly named as John Wit.
Ooh,
So
we
pretty
got the,
tasty.
got the naming right on that.
Oh.
And Scott's out here because just a couple of days ago, he ran Leona Divide 100K. So tell us about that.
Yeah. So it was a much longer day than I was expecting or hoping for. Had some stomach issues off and on, and it wasn't too hot. It got a little warm. Some big climbs out there at
Yeah,
the race.
it is up and down
Um,
out there.
It was a very runnable course if my stomach would have cooperated. Luckily, I didn't throw up, but it came close a number of times. But yeah, I guess the good thing is I felt like I finished pretty strong. Looking at it, the first 20 miles was pretty strong. The middle 20 was terrible, and then the last like 15-ish actually was pretty good once I came down. That last big descent.
Yeah, and we booked it into the end. That last
Yeah,
mile was probably the fastest of
yeah.
all. It was downhill, but
So
ready to be done.
yeah, so I got the finish. Missed the goal of getting my Western States qualifier. Everybody's out here trying to run a personal best, and I'm throwing down personal worst
Getting the P
like it's
dubs
nothing.
out
So
there.
yeah, from that standpoint, it wasn't great, but I got another chance later in the year to check that box for Western States. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but. Speaking of races, I mean, you just did Sean O'Brien a couple months ago, so
Yeah, that was in February the 22nd. Originally was going to be January, but the fires kind of pushed it back a little. Katie, my sister, your wife, came out and ran that with me as well. We had pretty similar days, honestly. I came through like 16 hours and 50 some minutes. So I was able to get the Western States qualifier just barely across the line there. But it was a fun day working on a video on that. So
and your sister took you out. She beat you by a good what?
hour and a
Yeah.
half almost. I felt bad. She was sitting there waiting by the fire when I came through. At least, shout out to Kira and Jesse for being there to keep her warm because I was quite a ways behind, but I did get it done. And then a couple weeks later, did the single track Stampede. Shout out to SoCal Trails. It was my girlfriend Mel's first sanctioned trail half marathon, so good active recovery for me. Within the couple of weeks following Sean O'Brien, but yeah, that was a good time.
Well, I mean, going back to, I mean, you said, shout out to Kira and Jesse, but I think we both had great experiences with, I mean, amazing volunteers at the aid stations and such. And, it's also great. I know you got some shout outs from people that recognized you at Sean O'Brien. I got some, well, we both got them actually at Leona Divide. So everybody thanks for that. It's definitely a big pick me up
Oh, it
to
raises the
race. So it
spirits when
definitely,
someone's
yeah, so it definitely helps. So big thanks to everybody that said hi.
thanks so much. I really appreciate it. So, speaking of doing races, so we like to get out there and run them, but we've also started doing some free trail fantasy. So we get to kind of pick who's going to be top five in the races. You set that up.
Yeah, so we've got a league for crushing trails and drinking ales on Free Trail Fantasy.
It's a small league
Yeah,
currently.
there's only like four of us in there, and everybody keeps forgetting to make their picks, including myself this past weekend.
Forgot Gorge.
I forgot Gorge Waterfalls. So hoping to get a few more folks in there. Maybe that'll kind of trigger a little more interaction. It'll be fun. So we'll drop the link to join our league in the comments. So hopefully maybe we'll get a few extra folks in there, and we'll play some free trail. There's a bunch of races coming up. You got Canyons, Western States, and obviously stuff the rest of the year. I tend to try to pick mostly U.S. races and then the bigger international races. There's some pretty probably not for everybody, but for me, there's some unknown races that are on the schedule there, so I kind of don't put those in. But
I don't know who any of these people are.
but if we get we get enough people playing, maybe we start throwing those in too. So anyway, it'd be great if a few of you would join us for free trail.
Join us in there. Like you mentioned, there's a lot of races coming up. I think it's going to be on the list, but Cocodona 250 is one that we'll actually both be at in person.
Yeah, so big update, I guess, since the last time we got together for one of these. But I'm actually going to be out crewing and pacing at Cocodona as well, for a different runner than Kyle. But so we're going to have a couple different perspectives out there. We'll be filming a lot. We've got a couple ideas for some, maybe two films, definitely one, but maybe
Got some
maybe two
ideas in the
films.
works.
You'll have to be patient because those are going to take a while to edit.
I mean, we're having trouble getting through 100K videos, so 250 miles is considerably longer. 5 days of running.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we should be shooting 10K videos. So
Yeah,
if anyone needs crewing and pacing for 10K,
we'll be there. We'll give you the full videography experience.
Yeah, so I mean, Cocodona, 5 days of running and filming. That's going to be a lot. But on the topic of running days on end or days in a row, what's your streak up to these days?
Yeah, so the daily running streak is alive. As we're filming this, it's at 1,565 days of running at least a mile in a row. And you didn't set up a mileage goal this year, but I'm aiming for 2,500 in 2025, and currently about 120 miles ahead of pace to get that done. So if I can keep that going, check that box before the end of the year. In a little over a month and a half, roughly, San Diego 100 will help add a lot of miles to that in a single day or two. So
yeah, we'll both be at San Diego 100. This will be my second time there. First time did not go well. Talked about it in the past, but
Noble Canyon, right?
yeah, Noble Canyon dry heaving, and
But the course is a little different now than when you
so
ran
it's a
it.
little
So
different.
I'll be coming through there at night, or
Yeah, I'll be going a lot slower than last time. Last time I was trying to break 24. Now I'm hoping to maybe
finish.
be
Break 30.
yeah, well, finish is number one goal, but if I'm hoping we're both going to be under 30 hours.
Yeah. I mean, with 32-hour cutoff, I wouldn't have finished based on my AC 100 finish time, which was, 32 hours and 20 minutes. So I do need to pick it up a little as well.
Yeah, we'll be filming out there as well. So that there'll be some stuff coming up on that, and uh, I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we'll do a small series leading up to San Diego 100, kind of like what we've done for
Yeah.
Leona Divide
Give a
and Sean
course
O'Brien. Yeah.
overview, maybe talk about our training, nutrition, and gear. I mean, it's starting to get a little repetitive though, because we aren't really changing up our gear too much with each race. We kind of found what works in that aspect. I guess nutrition is the one that we need to
Yeah.
keep switching up, because
Yeah,
that's where we're struggling still.
Yeah, so we'll be filming out there, but we have a lot of other content actually coming out. So Kyle, I know you've got some stuff upcoming. What do you got in the pipeline?
Yeah, so I'm working on a longer form version of Sean O'Brien, because I did the rapid recap, which you can watch right now, but I kind of want to get into it a little deeper. I know, as someone who finished as close to the end time as possible, not the most exciting thing, but a lot happened out there during the day, so just want to put that together. But that actually got put on the back burner a little, because a couple weeks ago, I did a self challenge that I'd been thinking about for almost a year, where I had seen some little free libraries in the neighborhood and decided to go run and pick up a bunch of books, and ended up putting a book in each of the little free libraries in my neighborhood, which was 22 over the course of 19 miles. So I'm trying to put that together quickly, because it's a fun one. A lot of the stuff recently has been race related content, which is great. Love that. But want to do a little more like fun challenge. So I'm hoping to have that done soon.
And they're potentially going to be a sneak peek with the trailer coming out here.
Yeah, I think this might probably end up being one of the longest ones I've put together. So just kind of want to show what I have in mind and what I'm thinking of putting out there. So should be looking for that soon. And then the actual video, hopefully within a couple weeks, be ready to go. So that's what I've been working on. Oh, and before that, it was already done, was the beer run up in Big Bear that I did, which was building on your series that you put together, kind of started for us in Pagosa Springs. So what do you got going on there?
Yeah, so on that front, we actually took the kids and went to Hot Springs, Arkansas, over spring break, and so I did a beer run in Hot Springs, and got to talk about some really interesting. There was a lot of stuff I didn't know about Hot Springs that I found out. It's the birthplace of spring training. Well over 100 Hall of Fame baseball players have played there. There's a famous story about Babe Ruth that I go into. It's referred to as the day that changed baseball forever. And then also talk a lot about kind of the history of the national park and some of that stuff, and then also go into some of the history around gangster activity back during Prohibition and some of that era.
Stuff I didn't even know about
Yeah,
in Hot
so
Springs.
there's
So
a whole bunch of interesting stuff. So putting that one together, it's taken a little bit longer to edit because I got a new camera that takes some additional steps to edit the footage.
with the
But
360, it'll give you some
yeah,
more range.
but that's on the horizon. And then obviously we were shooting a lot here at Leona Divide this weekend, so got that on the docket as well.
Yeah, so we both kind of have some race and like the fun sort of challenge videos that we're working on. But
Yeah.
yeah, so content coming up. But
Yeah, I think that's kind of it for now.
yeah, first quarter
So
update. That's where we're
yeah,
at.
we'll be shooting the next one of these in probably in June when we get together for San Diego 100. But in the meantime, if you got any questions, comments, or anything like that, feel free to drop a comment on this video or shoot us an email. You can find it on our YouTube profile page. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, we're trying to be more cross-platform posting going on. So find us there. Tell your friends. Let them know. Give us a subscribe on this channel too. Support the YouTube.
Until June,
Yeah,
crush trails,
and
shake
drink
tails.
ales.
Cheers.
Cheers.